Terry Coleth. I'm here today with Doug Heatherly of Royal Bonnet. And you may not know this, but Doug Heatherly is an astronomer, and that gave me a good idea. This is a new series that we're starting that we're calling Sky Talk. You have a resident astronomer, you have a sky, it's a natural for a class, right? So Doug, thank you for joining me.
My pleasure, Terry.
Now, I want to be perfectly clear that this is a telescope.
It is a telescope.
But it's just a prop. Nobody needs a telescope.
That's right.
To take advantage of the information.
That's exactly right.
Doug's going to share with us. Doug, being an astronomer must be one of the most fascinating things in the world because it's something we don't know everything about yet.
We know very little about what's up there, and we're learning more, of course, every day, but it's exciting. I got into astronomy actually when I was in high school. So I've been in it 55 years or better.
I'm thinking how wonderful that the sky is always available to us,
yes,
no matter where we are at Shell Point. And it's one of those things that isn't magical. I mean,
That's
it's
right.
magical for what it really is. There's nothing made up about it. So let's learn more and let's appreciate it, right?
That's right, Terry. And, and we're really blessed today as human species, I guess, just to be able to appreciate what's up there. For thousands of years, men have looked at the sky and had no idea what they were looking at.
Isn't that amazing?
And so it's only been in the recent times that we actually have been able to look out there and put some structure to it and some ideas of what it really is.
Well, talking about structure, we kind of thought, Shell Point, and we hope you agree with us, that we'll start with the Zodiac. I mean, we all know that there are 12 constellations. So at any given time, we can get to know the one that we're looking at a little bit better.
That's exactly right. And it's a good place to start. And the Zodiac, or the constellations, is actually a map of the sky. And probably about not quite 100 years ago, astronomers broke the sky up into constellations that are defined mostly in just kind of rectangular shapes. Mm-hmm. And there's 88 of them, actually.
Gosh.
But if you're in the northern hemisphere, you're only going to see basically half. Or in the southern hemisphere, you'll see half. So you only see wherever your location is, you'll see about half of them, okay? But it's easy to start with the 12 zodiacal signs because those, we've often played with those in the newspaper just kind of out of fun. Uh-huh. The reality is there's actually 13 constellations that the sun moves through.
Okay,
over the course of a year. And we're at the period right now where it's in the one called Ophiuchus, which is not one of the other 12 that we're common with.
Never heard of it. Well, that makes me think of something else you shared with me. I wondered, if we're looking up at Aries, what are they seeing on the southern hemisphere? And you've told me there are apps that we can get.
Yes.
Well, we can point the phone.
That's exactly right. I have an app on my iPhone. It's called Sky Safari. It's free. It can be downloaded. Of course, they've got apps that you can pay for, but there's not a lot of need to do that. The basic app will give you the formation of the constellation, the names of the major stars, and the planets, and the location of the moon and the sun, and that kind of thing. And that's more than adequate for doing the visual.
Wonderful, wonderful. But we don't even have to do that because we have Doug Heatherly. So let's talk a little bit right now, Doug, because this is what we're going to do regularly. We're looking at Ophiuchus, which we can't really see at night. We can't really distinguish it at night.
Right.
What's coming next?
Okay, the next constellation, actually I've got a cheat sheet right here on my telescope.
Ah.
It's going to be Sagittarius.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and really all they're talking about is the location of the sun at sunrise. What constellation is in the background of where the sun's at?
At sunrise.
At sunrise. So the constellation that we quote are in the Zodiac is the one that's up at daylight where the sun's at.
All right, so right now at this time, I like to go out with my dog. My dog likes to go out regularly first thing in the morning, last thing at night. What am I going to see when I look at the moon?
Okay, well, if you looked at the moon, right now, for the next week or so, you're going to have the moon rising essentially at sunset, okay? The fact is today, The moon rises exactly at sunset.
Yeah, because we're at the equinox
That's
today.
exactly right. And so if you're looking at the morning sky, you're going to see some bright objects, very bright objects, and the brightest one is the planet Venus.
Isn't that amazing?
Okay, and it'll be 20, 25 degrees above the horizon at sunrise.
At sunrise, so you just look, the sun comes up in the east.
Yep.
You look where the sun comes up, and what the brightest thing you're going to see.
It'll be the brightest thing that's there. Yes.
And to me, that is just so amazing that we can see something that far away with our naked eye.
Yeah, and a good trick for knowing where the constellations of the zodiac are at is identify the point where the sun comes up, and then with the point it sets.
Which changes
Okay,
throughout.
yeah, it'll change, but that line across the sky that the sun follows is the ecliptic, and that's where the constellations of the zodiac are at.
Oh, that's such a great tip. Well, the good news is we're going to have this regularly with Doug Heatherly, our resident astronomer. We're also having a class with Doug in the summer semester of the Academy. So look for your brochure coming mid-April. And Doug, I can't thank you enough.
My pleasure. Thank you, Terry.